indicated, we now have with us in studio the Honorable Senior Senator of Bong County, Senator Prince Kibo Moye Senior. He's the Senate Committee Chair on Waste and Finance and Budget. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio with us this morning, Honorable Kibo. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff, and good morning to everyone. Those honor my voice, and I'm told this show has been relayed by other stations, more especially in Bong County. I want to use this occasion to say good morning to the people of Bong County, and thanks for having me.
Great, it's a pleasure to have you here for your media appearance, so your first time appearing on Cape 96.5. And Emmanuel Toh is here, my colleague.
Yeah, always smiling. What's the secret behind smiling?
I mean, that's how I was brought up, because I grew up doing business, and part of business characteristic that you should adopt is to give that kind of face to your customers, those that interact with you. So coming out of business, cocoa, rice, transportation, real estate, farming, all of that, I mean, you have to have that kind of face to encourage people to work.
That alone has prepared you to be the way you are today.
Definitely. So,
talking about that is a great point to kick up with your life story. A couple of days, weeks ago, we read a story about your life and ways you've come. You did not just get here, you passed through the rank and files, very humble humility as part of the characteristics, humble beginning, and that came about in response to some of the things that some people would say when they were in Bong County. We'll get there. But tell us, what can you say to this characterization of you, of the very humble person, humble beginning, and you carry yourself in a very subtle way, and people can use your story as something to follow as well if they want to actually achieve. Not, they might not want to follow exactly for my walking your shoes as well.
thank you, Jeff. I didn't know we were going to go that far. It's a pleasure, like I said, to be here. My first time at this unique station. Like you rightly put it, came up, grew up, born in the village, now in the hospital, and I'm going to be there on Saturday. The exact area I was born, I'm going to be going behind a big cotton tree, and my mom and those midwives those days that delivered me here. Some of them are still alive. They will be there with me, coming out of the chunk of the tree. The cotton tree stayed there right behind our house, so I'm going to be coming out of that place this Saturday. At the age of 8, my dad passed. He used to be a chief, a general town chief in Saint Claim, to be specific. And he was very generous, very, very generous. If you pass the man wish you, and didn't stop to my dad's house to have food, it means that you didn't come to wish you at all. So at an early age, I mean, just opening my eye and saw him passing, that had a very, very big impact on me as a child growing up. 8 years, 1983, so much. So I moved to my sister's place in Batala at that early age. After he passed, 84, 85, I moved Batala, and I started school in Batala. So went back to Banga, and then started selling in the street of Banga, selling plastic bags in the market for school. And then, I mean, I decided, I said, look, I will pursue education at every level to get myself where I want to be. So the war came. We fled from Banga, went back in the village, and then I started farming. I joined all the different schools you can think about, what farmers can do. I squash, I harvested rice, I brushed, I fell trees, and I'm saying this, my friends are in Winship, those of us that grew up, that joined the school, they are there, they are listening to me, and I know, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I play for our team, because I was one of the smallest players on our team in the village. We used to go all over the place So 91, 92, I said, look, I can't be in the village. So I told my mom, I said, look, what you have for me, if you have anything, just give it to me. Let me go Banga. Fortunately, our dad built a house, 6-room house. And because he was a chief, all of the work that he had a room in our house. So my mom had her room because she was the youngest that came in the home. So I said, I'll go and stay in your room, send the other rooms I occupy. He said, but how are you going to manage? I said, I will go. And that's how they gave me 800 JJ that time, 91, 92, they sold all their plantain, and Beta Boy, other things, they gave me 800. I said, okay, I will make it. So I came to Banga and started first when Taylor had the convention. He had some kind of convention in 92. People came from all over in Banga, and I said, let me start doing something. So I went and bought biscuit, I bought candy, put it in the cartoon, and started to sell for that convention. As I sell around, and when they finish, I go back and put some there, and put some basket and put it in the something. So I used to sell all around, Jeff, to the effect that the soft slipper that used to come, those soft slipper. Sometimes when I buy one pair, because I'm running around the town, the bud will eat up quick. Then I have to go again and buy another one because I didn't have money to sit on the table. So after the convention, I said, I can't keep running around. So let me start on the winter market. So I went on Broad Street, secured a little spot, and then I started to sell on the winter market. Then came 93, 94. I said, I have to go back to school. So my friend that we all grew up with left Banga and went in the interior because of the war, came back. They call him John, he stayed with me. They call him John Mulva, I call him Papa. So I called him and I said, Papa, look, I'm doing this business on the winter market, growing small, but I want to go to school, and you have to go to school. So what we do, saying I know the business, I will say in the morning, and entertain customers. Then I go to afternoon school, then you go to morning school. Because Jeff, and my whole life is not to shut down anybody because of my own personal gains. Everyone that have worked with me, I try to build you up so that tomorrow myself can depend on you to do something. So I told Papa, I said, look, I'll be going to St. Mark Lutheran, and in the afternoon, then you go to morning school. And we had it like that. I would say in the morning on the Broad Street, then move, to St. Mark's, and then come back. So we're there until Banga fell 94, we got to go, come back again, started. So this time, King, I had some small money. 96, there was a gold burst in Gold Camp. They call it where MNG is now. So I said, look, since I'm in school, I left St. Mark's and went to Tottenham Gray. When the school closed, I sold all the things from the market. I said, look, I'm going to get some, to get in the gold business. And that's how Emmanuel, those days, you go to Dinsan, you can even sweep the dirt and just wash it, you'll get gold. So I went there with my little money. Before 2-3 months, my man, I started going to Guinea, started going to Cote d'Ivoire, started going to Lomé, and that's how I came out in business. That's just, I will buy the gold. And I'm saying this, gold that has anybody. I will buy the gold, go across Cote d'Ivoire, and then, but I did not stop. I did not stop going to school. As I had the break, I would go to Gold Camp, I have people there buying for me, and then I would go to Tottenham Gray, because I left in my Lutheran, I went to Tottenham Gray. I became a student leader in Tottenham Gray. And as a matter of fact, having 3 cars, and vehicles, I was walking from, I've always said it, because I want to inspire other young people. 3 cars. I will walk from my first house. I built my first house in 1997, right opposite Massacre. The house is there. And I'm saying all this to people that think that we just jumped from the blue sky and came here. As early as I was, and in my team, and my current wife and myself built our first house on the Copier Road. And I used to walk from that house. I would send all the cars on the traffic because it was meant for business. It was not meant for me to block. I had not reached at the stage of owning car to shoulder that expensive, from my pocket. So the car would go run. And I'm sure, I've always said that some of my friends will be gossiping. I'm a whole student council president and may get a car. Then he walk in to come to school. No motorbikes. So I would walk from that place, from Massacre to Tottenham Grade, the dust. When I come, I would take my handkerchief and wipe my shoes, student council president. And that's how I did it. And then I graduated, as a student leader. And I gave myself 2 years, 1999, 2000, 2001. I said, let me prepare myself because I didn't have any sponsor. So I said, let me prepare myself to go to college. So when I sat for Cotton University College, at the time Cotton University College, now Cotton University. So everybody thought that Moye get beat hard. That boy get beat hard. Come on, people to school, he go sit down there, like, he lay raise, he said he won't go be in Cotton. I said, I'll go there. With all my record there, I was never on any scholarship for ex-combatant that people benefit. I paid my money, and that's how I went to Coddington, and became also a student leader and graduated. So before my graduation, Emmanuel, I have established a farm. I have built, almost 2-3 gas stations. Some of them are there because this thing, people exploit us a lot, so I just decided to quiet it down, to slow it down. Build stores, chains of stores when you go into Banga, where Samita, or the store there. There were CB Doma people, the dictators. They've been there for more than 10 years. When the intern dictator go, they take those apartments up there. And I have all the different property. Where CSA is, they've been there for almost 15 years, since 2009. CSA been leasing that property from me on the Ganda Highway. That was my second house when I built it, but then they wanted it. I said, let me move to the current place I am right now. That I spent 15 years at the Blalende area there. So to cut long matter short, if we start to explain our success story, how we came, I know it would take a lot of time, but I am proud that I'm turning 50. I'm in my golden jubilee almost week. You see me all in white, that's the attire. More than 1 week I've been wearing white. So yeah, so it was good that you asked that little background because to reach at this level and then having achieved what I've achieved, I think it's a blessing from God. And I must say thanks be to God for giving me good health. My family and myself. People have work, they don't have health. Spend everything, I don't know when life. I've been admitted at hospital, or even my immediate family people. So I say not too many persons. I think that's the greatest thing man can hope for in life. And we have it. We say for our family, thank you for preserving our life. Before coming to public service in 2011, worked for Coddington, worked for Medicine Demont, and then people petitioned me 2010, and then contested and won with absolute majority. All the elections I have contested, all. 2-time representative, senator, deputy speaker, everything, absolute majority. So it's based on my humility, my humble spirit in the Senate. One of my colleagues in Germany said, Moye can't tell you no. So I am getting to be afraid of him. So when we're sitting, he say, my man, I think telling the man was just saying yes. But so my thing is, and that's my weakness, my biggest weakness. And it didn't start now. It started way back when I was in school. You are a student leader, then you have small money. Some of your colleagues are very broke. Some of them are dropped off from classes because of funding. I will go in my little saving and say, my man, you got to do this. So I began a breadwinner at a very early stage. I began helping people at a very early stage. So I got used to it because I think to be hopeless is not good. I don't like people thinking all around and not hoping on anything. So I just have that mind that when you come to me, I should not put you under the bus. I should not say nothing there at all. Sometimes I obligate myself by just saying I will see what to do. And that I will see what to do when I lay now, it becomes a burden on me. I got to be thinking what to do for this person. And I have to fulfill that, even in the very bigger way, before my inner man can be, my whole spirit can be relaxed. Other than that, I will feel that owe that person. And that's how too many of my colleagues say, oh, don't mind Moye. I say, he told you, he will say yes. He will not to deceive you, but I'm trying to give you hope so that all of us work on the way to get something or to solve the situation that you have brought before me.
Well, all of these are success stories. Were there challenges along the way?
Yeah, there were challenges, more especially the war days. So I will come from Cote d'Ivoire with the very stock oil in the shop, and then those days, I mean, you are among the forces, the MPFL, forces. So, I mean, they will say Banga 4, Banga feeling, and enemy forces feeling taking over. You leave all those things there and go.
Wow.
Oh, that's why we cannot repeat the past. Can you imagine you didn't own anything? You just living by the grace of God. When they say the guys at Mabon Hill or to the other place, Balatwai, we will just leave the shop closed and just leave. When you come back, when you lock it, that's it. If you don't lock it, even when they don't come back in the town, the very MPFL people, some of them will boss the place and take your thing where you go. But that was the situation at the time. We that refused to take arms, we had to fight, to struggle. Because, I mean, we were behind the line. So that's the kind of situation we found ourselves in. But I think it made us very strong. Some of us that survived under those kind of circumstances. I mean, we had 2 men. Some of them, they are big business people from Banga. They are all here in the rail area, in other places, to go in China now. Because it made us very strong. Because you are among people that, I mean, they can just say, my man, the town patch today, crying out catch you, they tie your shedding. And young boys, they tie our shedding and say, my man, crying out catch you. You're in the market, they come. My man, Banga patch today, they start putting you in land. But you refuse to join them, to take arms. Can you imagine? We going to school. So if we are not built that mind to say, look, we will not be part of it. We'll continue to strive. Whatever God has for us is going to come. And then we see the odds that we went against. And, taking yourself to university at that level. So I tell people, all of us were working. But the mindset that we came to government with, the orientation we had before coming to government, when we have 2 cents, we'll develop it. And that's the difference between our other friends and us, our other colleagues and us. So, because I have a business mind, I came up a very strong way in managing myself. Even nobody must have competition. I don't run competition in life. And I don't run competition with you. I drive my own life. And I just gave you an example. I said, having cars and walking to camp, that was a decision I made personally. I said, I've not reached that point. So I would not come on Capitol Hill and know that I'm a freshman lawmaker and then start to compare myself with the people that I met there. And you will soon destroy yourself. Because you need to have that foundation. And you get that? So we were humble learning from those that we met. And today, we enjoy their confidence. That's why when we sit in any of the chambers, they come and say, look, Moye, you have the responsibility. Because we have been tested. Nothing for our eyes.
Great. I wanted to ask about Bong's unity when it comes to politics. I know in July of this year, I saw a reconciliatory event where the Bong Association in America brought you people together, and there was some sort of reconciliation, unification. But before we go there, I want you struck something about freshman lawmaker. This freshman lawmaker, Uriahs, is the one who said all of those things you've done in Bong County, he can triple. He did not only stop there, he also linked you to signing a resolution. You signed a resolution waiving social development funds owed by the China Union to the people of Bong County. These are the claims of this freshman lawmaker you are referring to. And for the benefit of the public, Representative Musa and Bility is a freshman lawmaker the senator is referring to. How do you see these guys, somebody that's a freshman lawmaker, going to your county and making claims that if they won't breach, I'll build 2 bridges? How did they appear to
Jeff, I didn't come here for the honorable Bility issue. I mean, he has said everything, but I've always challenged him. And I've said to him that your handlers, those that handle you, took you to Bong, they misled you. They didn't explain about Moye to you the right way. he decided to, to follow them. I don't get at people because of what somebody tells me about the person. I thought he was so experienced. I thought he was educated. Not to be fooled. He's been fooled. At his level, I thought he had some business orientation, because we business people, we that have that foundation, a true business person. I'm not talking about criminal one that hoodwink people, crook people, and took their money. They didn't go through the chain. I'm telling you, I walk with shower slipper that he got caught. So the only way I survive in life is my character, the trust that people will have in me. But if somebody is a crook and made his way through some kind of way, we don't consider them. So they always believe in that way. So Bility Henry did not do well for him. They presented me as that guy that just maybe useless, for the lack of better words, that doesn't know, what he's doing. He's an opportunist. I mean, they made him to believe that. And he jumped into the argument and started to say things. But I just exposed his lies, saying I challenged them on spoon that if you bring any resolution that I signed and gave a waiver to China New York, for the 10 million I've been challenging him for, I should resign my post. They have never, and I challenged them. They can never. And he said, oh yeah, you have not declared your assets. I said, the way you got your money, that's not how I got mine. The traces are there. I'm giving you my life story. Somebody can say your bag of rice or whatever, and you're selling a bag of rice or gasoline, and it can't give you the kind of money you have now or this and that. I was just telling them, I said, look, maybe some of them, they're very old, in their old ages now, they didn't manage themselves, they live all the luxurious life at the time. They didn't have any reason of living it. I'm telling you, at the age of 17, 18, I was studying at the time, owning vehicles and, building gas station and having farm. Then you're talking about what? And, somebody that is very intentional about what he does.
But you step on Representative Bility's toe when you supported government petroleum pricing reform.
Yeah, but that's the only crime I have committed. He must have been a very good friend. In fact, we haven't had any different issue until I got a committee assignment to do an investigation into storage fees charged by the LPRC. That's the only time. So he didn't know me. That's why when he talk all his blah blah, he can never tell you I give me a dime to Moye. I can challenge him from anywhere.
So you found out criminal syndicate.
But that's why he has.
Is one of those.
Yeah. So because we exposed that, and then he take on a fight with me, unnecessary fight, when I was performing my statutory, my constitutional duty at the Senate. I haven't followed him anywhere. I'm not in the importation business to say I'm running competition with him. I was doing retailing. At the time, I don't know whether he was even importing gasoline. He just started yesterday.
People say the man guy in the library.
So as far back as 2007, well, I don't know what he was doing. I was doing retailing gasoline in Banga, So here myself, we have had no issue. But because I led an investigation, so you can't buy and say, that government money the man get. That only he get clean money, build mansion all over, he can't identify how he get the resources to build it. He can say somewhere and say, I will build one bridge. Nobody cares. And nobody should question him. Then he come and say, the man build 2 rooms or he build this one. Who he thinks he is, to challenge other people that have struggled, that have a path of struggling and establishing themselves, coming into leadership. So all I've said to him, I said, I'm not one of those that you and NILD. I'm not one of those that, you've been giving handouts to. I cannot praising you because you and myself have had no interaction.
But you and this individual had reconciliation recently. This person that took Bility to the county.
Oh no, I'm under obligation as chairman of the caucus to honor all reconciliation activities. Whether in the diaspora, whether here, I will sit with all my lawmakers at any point in time. But get me right, politics is about interest. When you feel that somebody giving you money and you have to dance with them too, then you got to come back and start to say all the words about Moye. Because if you don't do that, like Musa Bility, he will not feel you. So people live their life like that, and I'm not like that. I don't pick for it because I don't do a process for it. That's why I'm very independent. For my colleagues that are involved in that, I just feel for them. Because you keep, spoiling your reputation. Everybody you get behind, you got to fight for them in a negative way at the detriment of your reputation. I'm not like that. So everybody get their own size. So I don't envy them for their lifestyle because that's how they live. They are not independent. Prior to coming to the legislature, some of them, they were zero. They were bare toolers. And I've told them many times, you cannot compare yourself with somebody. When I was here, you were in here. And when I was established, you were nowhere. You cannot. You cannot. And I've said it. And get that? So the only way they can try to follow me small is by hanging on my reputation and tell somebody I will deal with that man. Can't give me small money, I will deal with him. How long you keep dealing with me? Your life going.
That doesn't augur well for Bong's unity, Senator.
I mean, that's people's way of life. How can I change somebody's way of life, Jeff? Okay. The president is a grown-up president. He has decided to follow that path. That the only way I can get something, because apparently I don't have the moral, I don't have character, I don't have anything. The only way I can do something is to be in confusion. Some people survive. They are very good at surviving in conflict. Once there is peace, they will not shine. And I'm saying this. Once there is peace, they will not shine. The only time they shine in crisis. So they look for crisis when there should be no crisis. So I don't envy them. That's their lifestyle. That's how they get it. But the good news for them, they can survive in CDC government like that. Because there were people blindly pay political loyalty. And they pay for political loyalty. Blindly. Even if you don't see anything in you, they will keep paying. Honor our regime, you have to earn it. You have to earn it. You have to earn it. The man that leads this country, you have to earn. You have to earn it. You have to earn his respect. You have to earn his honesty. And you have to earn everything before he confirms. You're going to take news to him, la news, people call it, and you think that he will take money and give it to you to go do political job. That's not how we were brought up. So we earn everything. Respect, honesty, humility is something that we earn. In their regime, it was about lying. It was about putting false crowd together to impress. And they stay in that kind of thing. Nobody must say get crowd politics. So for the county reconciliation, anywhere, anytime, I am there. But it doesn't mean that it's a process. It doesn't mean that those that will reconcile anyway will not one day just later and think again about their usual behavior to get money from people, then they bring confusion. And that's their way of life. I don't envy them. Like I said, let them continue to do it, and I will continue to be humble. I will continue to be real. I will continue to be genuine. I will not fake anything that I have to fake. Several of our party lead his campaign, and we did it successfully. We campaigned in Bong. The status financially of our party at the time. But we stood our ground. We didn't allow money to sway us. And that's why I want to hear people like Bility and talking about they can go with anything for any money, anytime. They dance with any devil for money business. I get my choice. I pick my choice. You can get your $1 million. If Moye is not interested, you don't see me around. I let you, because it's tempting not to want something, then you want the money from them. They will destroy you. And for me to accept the Unity Party campaign manager position, it was a decision that I have to weigh, because if I were in bed with CDC on shady deeds and other things, all kind of stuff, they want to bring it up, because you dare not to stand before them or against them in any form or manner. More for their re-election, they could crush you. But I can say it and say it anyway. That's why Bility running with hair cut on his head, passing around with fake information everywhere, and nobody gives him credit because he doesn't know me. He doesn't know me at all. So I ran a campaign, and I'm opportune to say that the budget level. So I'm helping the president to ensure that those things that we campaign on are done in a very unique way. And my seat on the budget committee just gives me that opportunity. And when I hear people like Bility, then freshman lawmaker, narrow thinking that because I ways and means for Bong County, I'm going to take all the project and give it to Bong. How would I run a campaign across the country? Then I take all the county resources. Do I have that authority to even do that? You know, you sit in the Senate with experienced people, former pro tem, former speakers. You know, I mean, where experienced people, you think you alone going to sit there and make that decision, even if you have that opportunity to do? That's why they don't know. And you know, they don't know. So we have to keep educating them. Your position as a Ways and Means Committee chairperson is to look over the country. This is the only development tool we have, the national budget. How can you sit there and be so selfish and think that over the years you should take everything and dump it? How do you think the country will survive? So I told him, I said, I mean, the same way you have robbed everybody for you want to get rich, and you know, that's the same way, that's the same mentality you want me to take to the budget committee. I can't do that. And I'm telling you, I can't do that. In the current budget, 1.2 billion, we have to open our eyes and we deal it clearly. That's why you see county capital cities and you know pavement starting next year. That's why you see county referral hospital having top-ups in terms of their budgetary allotment that came in the draft, as articulated by the President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate. That's how you see county health team and you know officers role being expanded by the little increment we made in what came in the draft, so that they supervise the clinics under their supervision in a way that our people will get the benefit. That's why you sit on the Ways and Means for. That's why you sit there for. Not only because you want to score political goal to deprive other counties. No. So if River says, portion of River says, Sesto City is paved, it's the government. If electricity is expanded in other places that have gaps, even in the very Moserado and other parts of the country, you open your eyes and you know on the budget committee to ensure that those things happen. That's why you are there for. So what I'm saying in short is it's a perfect opportunity to be a national campaign manager and you know for an opposition party that took on leadership, and you are also opportune to serve on the only development tool, which is the national budget of the country. It gave you that insight. That's why we have done, thanks to the folks at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning for ensuring that they had a budget preparatory section with all the ministries and agencies to have first-hand information onto their agenda, and you know that accumulates into the AAID. We have to. So when the budget came, it was almost practically, and you know, looked into sufficiently by the mere fact that the drafting process took huge time with the folks at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, because that's two ministries there. They have the planning process and you know aspect, and they have the planning and development, and they also have the finance aspect. So the budget, yes, as we scrutinize it, additional $38.5 million was realized, as I read in my report to the plenary of the Senate, and those fundings were reappropriated to government agencies to give them more power, to give them more strength in terms of their operational areas in different things that they want to do. So we have to do that, and we did it with the consent of all the different chambers.
Well, during the deliberation, some of the colleagues were concerned about civil servants.
Okay,
yeah.
So let me just come there. Yeah, that was a deliberation that took almost half of the proceeding. That led us to even close almost at 10 p.m. So yes, that was a good issue. But under this government, there have been tremendous effort to ensure that first you have to bring everybody on par before you can. And that's I don't know why we keep missing things out. That's the same thing we had before the harmonization. You get one director here making more than the other director in the other place. Then when increment comes, everyone's benefit. So where is that? So what the ministry and the government has been doing is to bring people on par, to first take you where you're supposed to, where you are currently, given the disparity, and bring you up to the level as compared to your colleagues in other institutions. Then when that is done, when you're talking about increment holistically, then you're being fair, and that's standardization. And we have a law that addresses that, and that's what the ministry and the government is doing right now. So it's not just to put a blanket increment, and at the end you see other people doing the same function going up and the others coming down. And to also look at the volunteers. You know, in 2 years, how many volunteers have been able to get on the payroll? Two who've been here 6, 7, 8 years. Nobody had time for volunteers. All the schools in the country, they were being, monitored or manned by volunteers. How can a volunteer put in his or her best? It's difficult. Even the health workers, can you imagine? Nurses, they just graduate and they are dumped in the different clinics and hospitals, and they're volunteering. Sometimes people volunteer, they on their phone all day because when more and nobody giving them money. So the government has been able to put the volunteers on the payroll first. So these are ways to stabilize the civil service in the first place before thinking about. But somebody will be volunteering, you're doing the same work, but every day they put in your salary up, and they are not employed. Then you sit down and clap. I mean, I know those are even wishing for increment. Civil servants are wishing for increment. They are also wishing for their colleagues that volunteer with them in a different institution to come on the payroll. I don't think they will be so naive and wicked to their colleagues. Thousands of them that have been volunteering doing the same work with them, not to come on the payroll, but only to get salary increment. So those that are making politics out of that, they are not fair to those that have been placed on the payroll. So government is patching the holes and making sure that everybody gets just benefit for what you do, and then from there, increment can come. It will have the envelope to absorb that.
So, Senator, as part of the report, you outlined 3 basic things as part of the proposed budget: economic recovery, fiscal responsibility,
yes,
and sustainable national development.
Yeah.
But before you address those, I want to go back to the past budget. There was some sort of increment in the civil service salaries, the $50 increment in some places, and that budget was $800 some more dollars, $1 million. Now you have an ambitious budget 1.2. You can stay bring people on payroll and still do another sort of increment.
No, the budget. I mean, they say the very people will come out and say the recurring expenditure, recurring expenditure. That means no development budget. Everything goes towards. It's like you're raising money and just take it with salary. That's what you want us to do. That means the road, the lights that the president is turning on will not come on. The road that's supposed to be patched in Central Monrovia that were happening will not come on. Hospitals will not get adequate supplies, and everybody will just be there. How can you work and just get paid if you don't have the tools to work with?
But you increase other people's budget.
Yeah, but the budget increment is not meant.
The Speaker's office, the Deputy Speaker, they got some sort of increment.
Yeah, I mean, when you leave from 880 million and come to 1.2 billion, I mean, it's not something to justify, but you are telling the country that your budget moving, and those that are affected by the budget should have some, top ups, and which we acknowledge as a legislature. We acknowledge that. That's why agencies that are operating smaller budget, they were either counting of extra money to do development, and hospitals get extra money to do different operations. So it cuts across. All I'm saying is this government is not blind to civil servant increment. But love, fix what is existing first by getting volunteers that have volunteered for years on the payroll, by getting those that have made bare minimum of $50 to at least 100, 150, as it was articulated by the finance minister. Then you try to be fair in your increment. But you cannot see thousands of Liberians in the hospitals, in the clinics, at the different job area, even the police. The last batch that came out, they were never on payroll during the CDC time. And IG Gregory Kurma and the rest of the folks got to make sure, give them refresher and then put them on the payroll.
DEA.
Yeah, the DEA.
Too many volunteers.
Too many volunteers. These people were dumb. In all the institutions, they are there. They were dumb. It's like the past government tried to create a welfare state. And, you know, everybody just survive on government. In fact, those that were praising every day, and you know, you just wake up. Your own job to just call somebody, one politician. We had them all over the country. That's why the Facebook thing, they were very strong, because your work is not to go to work physically. You know, your consultancy that you own under the civil service agency is not for you to be in country to perform that consultancy work, but you lay now in the diaspora or somewhere else, you own consultancy payroll. Your only thing is just to praise the government. You're not here, you're not. So the government needed to cut down all those things. Our consultancy became almost barely, $6 million in the government budget. It will be increased based on the need. It has been done. So we are not doing that. We have left that and tried to put in place those that work, get money. And those that are working, let them come on the payroll. You can't get both volunteering and get both sitting at home. They're not coming to work, but they only call in the morning and say, yeah, Jeff Jefferson, I call him from the other the government. I've never seen it in the history of the country. And you know, then their money.
Fiscal transparency.
Yeah, their money goes in their account. So that you needed to clear all of that, which they have done. Those ones that left there, that got some partial training, like the police, and you know, the DA, because they were dumped there, they have some training now, they have some information. And those areas have huge gap. They have to be absorbed in the system. And when they are absorbed, see how DA took, I'm a portion of the budget. So if we are not funded them adequately, and you know, not even adequate, we can't call it adequate because the need for the DA, you can't do it now. But you needed to pay attention to that and put those guys on payroll, even the police, to get some of them trained. We needed to do that before you come to say you increase the civil servants, you know, salary. So as a government, you got to open your eyes to look at all those things.
You try to pay debts in this domestic debts,
Yeah.
external debts as well in this very budget.
Yeah.
I want to bring to your attention the revenue mobilization. We know 200 million sign-up bonus for Asset of the time.
Yeah.
And there were claims during sometimes in this year that SOEs were finding it difficult to even contribute to the budget. So are all of those things addressed down, state-owned enterprises, MP, other people?
Yeah, they were assessed. Yeah, MPA was assessed. It didn't leave empty as it came. We invited them, and they said they inherited. By the PFM law, the Ministry of Finance is supposed to vet all these state-owned enterprises' budget, and it showed that their budget conform with their function. But then the other side of it, the same thing we're talking. If somebody inherited a payroll that is uncontrollable, they seem to also be here when they downsize of people.
Uncontrollable payroll.
Uncontrollable payroll, the payroll that some of them inherited. The SOEs, too many persons. So they needed to regularize them. So that had taken a huge chunk of their money as they presented to us, and I'm not making case for anybody. I would love for SOE, as we assess them in the legislature, to pay. But if they bring these conditions, they say, look, if you want us to pay $5 million of this, we inherited this, we have to lay all the people off. And for us our price is not to lay. We are the direct representatives of the people. So if you're in the Senate or the House of Representatives, the business, you have to lay them off, although they've been in the system, they came there on account of patronage or whatever, then it makes it difficult for us to buy that kind of idea. That's why the PFN law gives the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning that authority to vet, because they are the technicians. They're supposed to go in and vet. And what comes to the Senate is a vetted budget of all the SOEs. And we think that their wisdom have gone in there, and anything that we do, maybe it will be counterproductive. That's how we see it. But be as it may, if it is not done, we come and assess them additionally, which we did in this current budget that we just passed on.
What do you want to pay people debt?
Debt is the first claim by the law that we inherited, the PFM law. Debt is the first claim. And the responsible pricing, it's the same way we wrote the law, that's how we want people to live.
The strengthening of financial
Yeah, yes.
prudency with
Definitely.
partners
And
as well.
I'm a living
To
witness.
make
I'm a
more-
living witness. And you know, Jeff, sometimes I don't have the money. I just call my business friend and say, man, give me 5,000 worth of plastic chair or this and that. I want to make donation. And for years I've been on it. When I get small money, that the first place I'm running to go pay. And you know, and when you pay, you have that authority. Not every day you have money. So you just call, my man, give me some thing, man. And you know, but when you old and start to shy away from those that you owed, a team or repetition, and business people, they interconnect. They will take the phone and say, my man, I don't want to go when they take your thing. They will not pay you. So no, they interact. So they will block you everywhere. Then you say, my man, this time I call my man, my own man. But there's a network. And you know, it's just like our man Musa you're talking about. And you know, for you to import petrol is difficult from all the information. Because you in the sub region here, they're doing all kind of things with your friend business people. So you got to pass on somebody to go import. And, you know, he's been having that kind of so.
Bility has now been indicted for guilt of any of these claims you're making about maybe it's shady.
I've said the man expertise is in the court. I've said that. You know, his expertise is in the court. Even now,
the law presumes he's innocent until he's
yeah, so
can we take it as
his expertise is in the court. Even if he doesn't even have standing, you know, the lawyer call it standing. They didn't get any standing, but because the court process is tedious, the matter will be clear like this. Just like this, you know, Shane's Park, clear. But then he will jump in the court.
Caution the legal standards of the country. You see, they come by CSY and say, no, let's keep it like this.
But see what has happened? They have issued a prohibition for him not to pay the 9 cents, and you know. And, you know, they just didn't issue a prohibition. Something that is clear, the law is clear. But that's a way to kill time, to buy time. And he will keep you there. And you know, keep you there. That's a man professional expertise. And you know, he professionalizes in that other aspect. If he had no standing, he will go there and take advantage of the very system you're talking about. Exploit the system. And take advantage of it. And it's becoming time that we expose those people that in that kind of bad business habit. He has made justices to lose their status in this country. I said it. And, you know, he has made justices.
These are very grave claims.
But the cabinet general case that who basically the power government, and you know,
so
that is in road funding.
Let's get back to the budget.
That's in road funding.
There were issues about your committee is going how convening separate budget hearing. I know you heard about that. House of Representatives said no, they should not be doing that. They should do it together.
Yeah. So.
We
respect the Constitution that all revenue bills initiated by the House of Representatives emanates from the House of Representatives. That's its strength. But it doesn't stop us from providing our oversight responsibility as a Senate. So we're doing a preparatory, budget passage, hearing. Preparatory budget passage hearing. That's our function. We are not initiating. We're just telling you, look, the House will pass on the instrument and send it to us. But they will send it, let them satisfy our curiosity so that when it comes, we are not starting the wheel all over. So come. The House is working, but we get concerned here. And it's just like the normal hearing. When it is not time for budget, my committee will call the Revenue Authority to say, what is happening to the revenue? Does it mean that I'm usurping the function of the House? No. That's the same function to provide oversight that the Constitution gives. So we were making preparatory budget passage hearing, and so I think it works well. That's why we have to come up with the same figure. The House did not come up with 38.5 million additional revenue, and we came up with different. No, that's why we concur. We're just trying to
yeah. Did the budget? You scrutinize the budget. Did they address bread and butter issues? Because they're always talking about bread and butter issues. $1.2 billion budget, how does that address the bread and butter issue?
You see, the problem is, I don't know from what perspective people look at the bread and butter issue. Bread and butter issue means that the budget should be divided by the number of human beings in the country, and then every month we'll give it to them. I think that's how we interpreting the bread and butter issue. But a road works will be going on, and in the Western Belt, the $365 million, concession that we just ratified, work will be abundant in the western belt, in the northern side, because portion of the road going to impact the Manicoma Highway. Job will be created. Public Works is talking about paving all the cities, will begin paving all the capital cities under the current budget. Job will be provided in those places. We're talking about expanding water facility in some of the counties.
Electricity?
Electricity is the same way. Who are those that are going to be employed? The same Liberians. Currently, the presence of water and seawater is now in Bong and other places. Now, there are provisions for MD Moye to send people there to begin to do feasibility and restore the water facility in Biken and in other cities. Who are those that are going to be working? That the same Liberians. That the same Liberians. In the hospitals. We're talking about the signing of $24 million MOU between the United States government and the Ministry of Health. Who are those that are going to be affected when that money comes? That the same Liberians. We just ratified $88.7 million Excel project that will see the infusion of 500,000 in every electoral district in educational sector, building new schools, training teachers, and providing different aspects under that program. Who are those that are going to be affected? They're not the same Liberians. So there are many ways to look at it, except where somebody tells me, like I said, not divide the money by the number of presidents and start to give it. But we take note of that. We will, as a government, the president is making sure that all those international trips he's making, things come from there. You saw the delegation from France. You saw the MCC coming. Now the Ministry of Finance and Development have put up an announcement to recruit qualified people. Who are those that are going to be working? The non-Liberians are going to recruit. So gradually, the bread and butter issue.
Money will also go to the bread and butter issue. Did you get the
because when people develop the compact will take into consideration different sectors of our country, of our governance process, and those sectors will be impacted, and new jobs will be created. So it's going to address to a very large extent some of the bread and butter issue. So we want to, and also the dropping of the prices of things. When you get small money buying a lot of things for you in economics, and it means that you're saving more. And you get that? It means that, the bread and butter issue is somehow addressed in those different lines. If you're paying 1,000 from here, banger, but because gas price is 500, 600, 650, 700, and some money will leave in your pocket.
You can purchase other things.
You can purchase other things. You're addressing the bread and butter issue. So prices of things coming down also addresses the bread and butter issue. So got to educate our people and say the bread and butter issue they're both talking about is not somebody coming to your house giving you money every day, government money, and you go take pay. That's not what they're talking about. It's for small money to chase plenty goods so that you can keep some of the money in your pocket to take care of hospital and take care of this. Right now, rice is at a lower price. Some of the major commodity, gas, season coming, you still get gas price very low. And these are drivers of our economy. If gas price is high, every other thing will jump. Whatever the opening of the country now going to the southeast and other places, other thing will follow. With the coming of the MTA buses, what it does, it solves some of the bread and butter issue. Because if you're paying high cost just to go down water side, that money you're paying, if you are a student every day, your mom and daddy are giving you that money to go to school, but you manage to catch the MTA, small will be left with you for you to go and buy the bread and butter that we're talking about.
Speaking as part because we are on the only thing that.
What? I'm wearing triple hats here.
Triple hats.
Yeah.
More like Wait, still on the issue of the budget, Uncle Senator, why this entire budget process or the conversation was on in the middle of the Senate. This issue about reduction in salaries of you senators. and generally now, or holistically, the issue of the legislature.
Yeah.
Because there has been a report that the senators are receiving, allegedly, a very huge, gas coupon, which is around approximately $2,000 United States dollars, and $8,000 in terms of salaries and all other things. But when the conversation was on, a lot of senators also opposed to the reduction, while Senator Abrams, your colleague, who is also part of the rescue senators, kept, putting his feet down as to where he had identified the source of the money to see how these things can happen and all of that. But let's look at the issue or your opinion on the reduction in terms of salaries for senator or quote-unquote lawmakers.
I think the report, as soon as we return, will be made. It's before the committee. I made a preliminary report the last time I brought the acumen. Mind you, so people don't follow history in our country like that. When the harmonization came, it was said in the country that lawmakers were making $15,000, $15,000 everywhere. Now, the salary of lawmaker now is public knowledge, $8,000 net at the level of the Senate. The House, they are claiming that they are already at $5,000 or whatever. The Ways and Means Committee, and we'll bring report on it. But the senators are saying, yeah, we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do this because of the pressure. It will be left for them to vote when the report comes on the floor. And you get that. But I think what the Senator Dillon is fighting for is to have a standardized salary, across government, which is going to take some time for us to do. It will say across government, the equivalent of a lawmaker is like a managing director of, in terms of salary now, not the portfolio by itself. In terms of salary, is the equivalent of a managing director of one of the SOEs that are making money. We sell it across. But his thing is, it's just bad for every day they say lawmaker making $8,000 when you come to see some SOEs managing director making far above that. And we get the hit because we are the people deputies. So when we set an example by saying, look, across government, ministers and lawmakers and MDs, this is $5,000. Deputy ministers, $2,000. Assistant minister, $1,500. If we take that holistic decision, that means we've been genuine, to the country. But now when they say, yeah, lawmaker, that's the acumen of some of the colleagues. Lawmaker, yeah, set your salary at $5,000. When you see one MD making, $15,000 or whatever, then it doesn't apply to the benefit that we want to accrue as a result of the reduction. But like I said, the report going to come when we
You're not going to achieve that in the remaining 5 years.
No, I mean our committee will work. We are under obligation to make report. It left with the plenary to vote on our report as per the law that was brought before us by Senator Dillon. It left with plenary to vote on that, and I'm going to make that report. I'm going to encourage my colleagues for us to make that report as we return. Because we have to set an example. If it will be a time now to say across government, this is what lawmakers should make, this is what a minister should make, it should be holistic so that the savings there can go to other tangible projects. I think we can take that decision as a country.
Let's go to Bong, then we can go to the line. The president did make a disclosure about sports academy in Bong County. He also promised to build a conference center. As a result of the president's promise made to Bong County that when you support us, we'll do this additional benefits for supporting the then when he was political leader of Standard Bearer of the Unity Party during the campaign. Are these benefits?
Yeah, not only benefit. The president is under obligation to deliver to the entire country. That's why in his first 6 months he said there will be no car getting stuck in the mud. I mean, if you merge the vote that came from the southeast and just oppose that with the number of development that go in there under his watch, I mean, it's not. But I think he has a mind for the country, and he tries to put into different regions what is best, given his experience in government, given what he has gone through as a state man, with 40 years of experience. He feels strongly that, look, building a convention center in Bong will be the easier way to have the country converge. Building a sport academy in Bong will be the easiest way for sport to spring up in other parts of the country. And he's very intentional, about that. So I want to say thanks to the president for seeing the country the way he sees it, not based on how many votes he got from a particular region, or how many. Look at the Pavifor Road concession, $365 million to give full lane from here to Bowater side, all the way, I don't know, to the Sterling Bowler is Bowater side.
Yeah.
Okay, and full lane, going to Cape Mount, doing the Menicoma as it was conceived by the late Samuel Doe way back, and trying to look at the country holistically, looking at another PPP to do the Bapolo to Bopolo and all those kind of places. That's how he sees the country to open. If you do that, I mean, it's best. So, yes, we want to say thank you for living up to the development of the country in terms of all the different initiatives he has put in place. But Bong County, as I said, the president has always ensured that Bong is that centrally located place that a lot of things can be done to impact the country positively. He even told me once that Bong, he said, look, we'll look at the old LPNC that is now on a lacra. Can we look at it? I was sent people to look at it. In fact, we can turn that place to a juice factory and other stuff. The president talked about Bong a lot, and not only because of the political reward, but it's because of the proximity, because of the location, that it has, and what can be done there to impact the rest of the country. And I think he sees the country in that form and manner, regardless of what vote came from where, or who came from where to campaign or this and that. I think he sees the country as a president, and that's why we support him to do what he's supposed to do for the Liberian people.
So with that, it brings me to the point to ask this question,
Yeah.
Senator. Looking at the government under President Boakai, you have had some, successes of the government that you are already outlining. But I'm concerned, is there still need for improvement, or is there challenges that you as a senator have identified and you have shared with the president in tackling some of these things?
There will be always need for improvement. We took over our country as a government, and I say we because, the role I play, I don't have to keep making emphasis on that. That practically you have to reset. It's like you have a watch that maybe you're doing something with it, and you left on the regular time, just switch around, or you can't even identify when you say what time is it, it's at 5, it's telling you 1 a.m. in the morning. That the country. So you got to reset. You got to reset the country and drive it. So the whole 2024 was about resetting it, restoring our international image, restoring confidence in the banking sector, to ensure that people carry their money to the bank. The issue of system, failure, all that kind of stuff is not the same. So to reset took some time to get people to restore, the confidence in our passport, in our different embassies across the country. You needed time. So now that 2024 that was there, you saw how 2025 is now moving gradually. Everybody's seated, ensuring that our focus is on the president's agenda, and ensuring that we tailor all the different things along that agenda, the AAID, So there are challenges. There will be challenges as you go along, but those challenges cannot be the ones to the international community back in our country. The passport issue, when your passport was in the hands of all kinds of, the government got to record all the passports that were issued, 9 years, this and that, record them to make sure that our passports are given to people. These are things that you may overlook, but these were major challenges. You don't know who is who. Somebody preaching your government image somewhere in a negative form and they're holding a diplomatic passport that has almost 6-7 years in it. You know what I mean? What it does to the country? It damages the image of the country. So the president has to take through the Minister of Foreign Affairs, those decisive action. Recall. You got to make sure that you rebrand the country image. And our presence on the Security Council has just solidified, those things that we need to do at the international level. So you have to rebrand things before you say. I mean, they come for their own personal business purpose. First, study that the country is safe, and the country is not in the business of money laundering, bringing in drugs, illicit drugs in the country, all that kind of stuff. So, yes, these are challenges that we had from the beginning to tell the international world that, look, the issue of drugs coming in the country just at any level will stop. Our passports now will be in the hands of credible Liberians that marry our standing in our different international and international organizations will be clear. The ECOWAS levy, the different fee, you just heard the Maritime Authority being readmitted. I mean, these are international organizations that when you default to a very large extent, sometimes you don't have voting right. What's supposed to come to your country when votes are taken and you don't have the right? So how will people come to your country? Look at the Aviation Authority. They have to go and commit and to be readmitted at the just ended conference. I'm sure it was in Canada. So the different sectors that have international connections are making strides to clear all the bylaws. We owe some of the international organizations, bilateral institutions, multilateral institutions a lot. Our debt payment at a certain point in time. You heard that our loan was blocked for some other money payment, whatnot, but that's why we have over 118 million, because we have to abide by the laws that we made. And debt is the first claim to give us the space. And when you pay, other people coming. Why you think we're getting $88 million to education? Why you think the MCC coming? Why you think the MOU been signed? And, by the foreign minister to bring $124 million in our health center of budget support. So these are things that will boost the economy, as you say in other international organizations that had the off-budget budget. And too many presidents don't know that we have an off-budget and on-budget. Sometimes our off-budget support from international partners used to be $2 billion. They are telling you they bring in $2 billion in your country, but it's not coming through the government, but they declare it. That's what our law says. That when UNICEF is doing a piece of work here, you go to the Ministry of Planning and Finance and Development Planning and say, look, I will intervene here. So that when you're doing your budget, those interventions that they're making in other sectors, you can't duplicate it. That's the essence. So all the money we're announcing, they are off budget. They are not part of the 1.2 billion we're talking about. If you look at our off budget, if you do the summary, sometimes we stand at 2 billion, 1.5 billion, more than our own budget. So it tells you that different international organizations participate into the country development more than even what we can do as a country. That's why a country image branding and making it good is very important, because you don't have that. The money they can bring in more than what you have, and to use on your very self.
All right, Senator, I can recall one of your section at the level of the Senate. You were concerned about money allotted in the budget for the various institutions. And your concern was like, when the monies are allotted, it should be delivered to the various institutions for the money that the job intended for can be executed. And it happened that there was a day you, as a senator, requested the health officers from various counties. And they were complaining to you people that the money allotted by them have not been given. Before their arrival or before making appearance at the Senate, 2 days to their appearance, the money was given to them through the Ministry of Finance. And when they came down, they could not say move, but rather they have to, cool everything and just that. Most of that
Your intention was to ensure that as you allot these monies, the money should be used, that the next budget we should not keep money for increment, and the actual money that's allotted and the works are not seen. And you intend about them to have had a kind of committee to do oversight responsibility. And I can recall that Senator Vabla was one of those who were also chairing that committee, so ensure that you go, if you say health, this money is allotted for health. You who are the chair for the health committee, you go to various health institutions, ensure that the money given and it be used for the intended purpose. How far Liberians are when it comes to the oversight to ensure that the monies are actualized when the budget passed?
Okay, so you're talking about budget execution.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emmanuel. That's one of the major challenges we have, executing the budget. You know, budget is a projection. It's not kind of money sitting in a vault that when you make requests, it will just go there and tick it. So it's a projection, and it's based on past experience, and you project. So execution is very important, and I've said it over and again. I said there may be some challenges, but you don't have to be friendly in this government. You don't have to be friendly with Minister Gaffon for your allotment to be made. He doesn't need to talk to you. And that's the system he has put in place. You don't have to be friendly with anybody. But when the budget is fairly executed, when you have 25 million after salary every month, then you spread out 25 million to institutions, you know, that's supposed to receive their quarterly amount. So when it is done, I mean, it's okay. But I mean, in reference to what you just stated, the health county CHOs, I think that was one thing that we discovered that was so bad. Because the county health team are meant to help the different clinics in the counties. They supervise, they provide minor repair to clinics and do other works. But then they survive, some of the counties, big counties like Bong, survive only 100,000. How are you going for a whole year? So when we noticed that the county health team at the time were complaining, they were not getting their allotment, that's how we called them in. And it was true, for sure, that these monies, they were not receiving them. But at the time we made the inquiry, the Ministry of Finance decided to start paying that money. But what it does, it will not bring back lives that needed to be saved if you have paid the money on time. Because the money is for a year. How can you pay a whole year operation money to a county health team in 2 months' time at the end of the year? How can they make up for the damages that have occurred? Because you're managing life. You know, you're telling them, hold the money, go in the clinic, make sure that when small thing happen there, you fix it for the clinic to function rightly. But then you are not providing that money until you were called to say, why are you not giving the money? Then in a month at the end of the budget year, you go and pay the money. How can that county health team be able to repair the damage that have occurred in terms of ambulances being fuel to lift pregnant women to the nearby hospital or whatever? They are already damaged. So we have told them that the execution of the budget should not be based on pressure. We should look at the HEMO concerned areas that you cannot. Procurement, you can say, yeah, I will buy this thing today, and then you can, and you know, you buy it. If there's something for it to work, you can say, I will buy, you can postpone the buying of this item, but you cannot postpone, medication that somebody is supposed to take and survive. You say, hold on here. When they give me the money, 3 months from now, I'll come back and give you that treatment. How you account for that? So we have told them to make priority those HEMO-centered areas in terms of providing, like schools. Whole instructional period, you don't give supplies to the schools. The kids are going to school without anything. Then at the end of the year, you bring the supply. You know what they have missed? If they needed to prepare for an exam, and the teacher needed to have them the textbooks or chalk or roll board to put in all the information, they have just missed out. So these are areas that we have always made reference in terms of the budget execution. You have to be on time to make sure that those things that will impact the human beings, the citizens, are done on time. Other than that, you cannot reverse. Time is very important in budget execution, and we're going to provide our oversight in that direction.
Okay, so we can't keep the senator for too long. He's gone over an hour, some minutes now, so we'll go to the line shortly. But in passing, is everything okay with staffers at the the pro-temporary?
No, I'm not.
Are they happy with going to the Christmas? Just a day to Christmas now.
No, I mean the usual thing I think rates have been provided, but in terms of salary, we order here, we are not getting salary, and I think as I speak, the two controllers at the legislature are locked down at the Ministry of Finance to try to solve it. I think there is price that is happening, and we take a serious note of that. As I leave from here, we'll be making some calls. So. All of us have not been paid. Let me just say that.
For December?
Yeah, I think the civil servants are paid, but I think elected officials and their staffers, I think so. I think the issues are.
Honorable Senator, do you listen to radio as well?
Yeah, I can listen to radio. I listen to radio. You know, when I first came in politics, Emmanuel, experience is the best teacher. I'm going to almost 13 years. So. Yes, I will listen to the radio, I will do this, I will do that. Any small thing I want to respond, this and that. But I reach a point that responding to everything, sometimes it doesn't make sense, because if somebody that want to hang on your reputation for them to be popular, you just made them popular. When I used to be very, very decisive. When I say I will do this, I will do it. You know my record here. I don't think, but you reach a point, experience is the best teacher. How many persons you want to sue for posting negative things about you on the and that's how bad it is now. So if you don't have that thick skin, because the thing is of such that somebody will cause your mom under a different name that you don't know, they cause your mom, what they don't know about you, they say everything. What are you going to do with that? You'll be looking on Facebook or on radio and say, I just called to say that other man has not done anything yet to be responding to it. So I listen to radio, don't get me wrong. I follow the news religiously. I follow some of the papers' headlines. I look at the pages of some of the online television that the different radio stations have for news. But I'm not that usual. Can you imagine almost? I mean, I'm a first time coming here to say.
Sure.
So I'm not that usual running from radio station to radio station, radio station to radio station. I mean, sometimes it doesn't make sense, So I appear when it is extremely necessary, because we have a gullible society. We have a gullible society. Some of those that suffer as a result of some of the statements that people make against people, and some of our partners take it very strong. If you don't come back, to see it, that's why sometimes can just compel us to sit and say some of these things, because somebody that does not know you, because they have been misled, they come on the public media, they come everywhere and say negative things. They don't even know your upbringing. So sometimes you have to respond. And that's why you're making it for all to respond to people like Bility. Then. Other than that, I would never respond to Bility. Never. Yeah, but if somebody is character is tinted already, and they're looking for their friends, then they try to draw you that get that leg clean so that other can be the same. I've not been banned by FIFA, a reputable world organization. Then you sit there and want to hold everybody with your tinted character and record. I mean, that's all I can respond to. Other than that, different person, I don't have time. Y'all know me in the country. I don't pick people or this. When I come to the radio on what I have done and what I'm able to do, and I give you my story. It's left for you to go and find out what I'm saying. I don't lie. You get that? But when you are in a society where gullibility has, because people come, that the only man I guess I'm gonna lay money somewhere, and he just renting, even party people, chairmanship, this and that every day. He renting people. So the way those people pay allegiance to him is when he says something, all of them will get at you and try to bring you down. If you don't do that, he monitor your Facebook page and say, How many things I'm talking here, you're not talking so, the bond are coming, you're not getting paid. So people surviving, and, you know, and I don't blame the internet, and I don't blame those that do that, because that's a way of surviving. You know, Bility with all kind of money there, that he rob people when he get it with him, and the way to pay homage to him is when he lie on somebody, they all should be to go on a post and be lying and this and that. They say, yeah, we're doing it. So we come up and say some of the things that we have done and will continue to do. That's all we gave credence. He had a whole Truth FM every day. That I told them, experience is the best teacher, and man live by his character. I'm in this country. The few times I stayed in government, my records are there, and I can't prove anything beyond that. You can go on to say what you want to say, but I think you try to put all of us in the red oil, wrap the red oil around our clothes and other things when there's no need for us to do that. So let him stay where he is. I mean, we had nothing to fight over. He wants to be president, and I tell a lot of people, how will somebody that won't be president hang on a senator that doesn't have intention to be president? I mean, he get mad because he has been exposed. And that's why I tell everybody around the world. Why would Bility every day he takes a phone or go on day, he say the other person like this, the other person like this. I thought he's supposed to be competing with Uriahs then, and you know, Kumis then, that he peer, you know, at that level. Because you have put yourself in that. But coming down, it means that you're trying to revenge. That's how low his thinking is. Very low in thinking. He get age, but very low, like a child in thinking. Because that's how you are compared. That's how people analyze. But Moye doesn't want to be a president. Why every day the man on Moye, or he has not said this? Because I expose his shilly deeds. That he had a man's worth at the expense. You know how much money the budget capture on account of the storage fee? Over $10-15 million going to go to counties at different level. That money he didn't want for the government to get. I'm proud that I stood, although my character he had tried to assassinate it, to say all kinds of things, but I'm very proud that I stood for a cause, and that money beginning January will start to go to hospitals and disadvantaged youth, addressing some of the the conditions that they face, and even supporting the very yellow mission that are going to come to initiate works in some of the counties that don't have social development funding. I'm proud to be that person and not a stooge of ability from his criminal, operation. He think he can call the whole media, the whole world, by all the different stations to ring insult and say, I'm not deterred by that. I have gone through. I'm a refined person to serve as a deputy speaker, to serve as a senator of a county like Bong. You got to be refined. You got to be battle tested. I did not jump in any level of my leadership. I grew up as a leader. Every class I sat in, every school I went to, I was a leader. Even at graduate level, I was the president of my class at the Continental Graduate School. That's how my leadership has gone. So for somebody to come and think that he will make me afraid, I'm not afraid of anybody. I give you respect. I want to go first, but I'm not afraid. I speak my mind. That's why I don't jump into quick money things so that I'm not hooked or in anything that you will blackmail me on. And, you know who you can do that to. So I like to sound a warning as you close the year. Him I say I have no dealing. I don't even dream about him. I don't envy what he has. He one of the millionaire. He has professed that here. He know how he got his money. He ride the car that the president has. That's why he think he can do. Let him keep doing that. But let him just respect other people work function. When I work for the country, my mandate as a senator, it should not be perceived like I'm targeting. I've been here for long. I don't even know the petroleum sector, aside from making few retail petroleum business years back, which I have shut everything down because I was at the Senate and I could not monitor those things adequately. I have to close them down. I'm into real estate. I'm into farming, and that's what I have decided to go to. Because when I retire, I want to go on my farm. Those that are robbing me now because of business or this and that, they will not have that time. I will go sit on my farm because I have that managerial skill to manage my activities. So that's what I'm looking at now. So I want to say thank you. And I wanted to close that. I went to Bong County. I want to speak my pellet in Bong County. Fortunately, we gave them 4 bridges to do. You can hear about noise about bridge business again. I think by now they should have been completing one of the bridges.
You get CB boss recently, right?
Oh no, that's CB. I want to go to Bong County. I will talk about the development thing. I'm here. You don't want to go.